Your phone lights up, and it's her name. After weeks, maybe even months of total silence, she is suddenly back, and you're just confused. Part of your brain is screaming, "It's a trap, don't do it," while another part feels that insane rush of hope. You literally thought it was over. You were actually healing, moving on, and rebuilding your life from nothing. And then this, a simple "hey," that destroys everything. You are instantly in a mental tug-of-war. What could she possibly want? Does she actually miss you? Did she realize she made the biggest mistake of her life? Or are you just the backup plan? A quick fix for her boredom? Are you the safety net she grabs when her new life isn't as amazing as she imagined? The uncertainty is brutal. It replays every single memory until you question everything. This isn't just a video. This is a lifeline. Because in the next few minutes, we are going to pull back the curtain and expose the hidden psychological triggers that are secretly pulling her back to you. This is not guesswork. This is the actual mechanics of attraction, loss, and human psychology. By the end of this video, you will not be confused. You will have insane clarity. I will even give you a simple, powerful test to reveal her true intentions, a method that shows if she's here for a real second chance or just an ego boost, and you won't have to risk your dignity. So if you're ready to stop being a pawn in her game and want to understand the entire board, you have to stick with me. The anatomy of confusion, power, pain, and common mistakes. Before we reveal why she's reaching out, we have to talk about the brutal reality of where you are right now. The second her name pops up on your screen is a massive crossroads. The path you choose in the next few hours will determine if you get your power back or lose it all over again. Let's be real, this is emotional chaos. After the shock, you're hit with a billion questions. Her message is almost always vague on purpose. It's never a direct, "I made a huge mistake and I want you back." It's a breadcrumb, a "saw this and thought of you," or a late night, "I miss our talks." These messages are perfectly engineered whether she knows it or not to be low risk for her and extremely confusing for you. It gives her plausible deniability. If you react badly, she can just say, "Whoa, relax, I was just being friendly." She gets to test the waters without ever getting wet. And this is where almost everybody makes a mistake. Blinded by hope and feelings, they make a series of predictable mistakes that destroy their power. The first mistake is speed. They reply instantly. This screams desperation. It tells her, "I've just been sitting here, literally waiting for you. You're still everything to me." In that one simple act of replying in under a minute, you've handed her back all the power. You've shown your cards, and they're full of desperation. The second mistake is emotional vomit. The response is loaded with feelings. You either get nostalgic with, "I've been thinking about you so much too," or you get angry, "After all this time, now you text me." Both are massive mistakes. They show her she still has a huge emotional effect on you. A person who is genuinely moving on responds with calm indifference. Not coldness, but a relaxed, casual vibe that says, "It's cool to hear from you, but my life is moving on, and it doesn't revolve around you anymore." The third, and most fatal mistake, is asking for clarity too soon. You ask the dreaded question, "What do you want?" or "Why are you texting me?" This is a massive sign of weakness. You're asking her to define the entire interaction. You're handing her the script and asking for your lines. A powerful person doesn't ask what a woman wants. They observe her actions to see what she's willing to do to be in his life. He knows her words mean nothing, but her effort is the only true sign of interest. Asking, "What do you want?" forces a logical answer to an emotional decision, and it totally short-circuits the reattraction process. Every time you make one of these mistakes, you prove she was right to leave. You remind her of the person who was needy and reactive. The breakup, at its core, was a loss of power. In her eyes, you became the weaker one. Her text is a small sign she might have messed up. It's a crack in her confidence. Your job isn't to fix that crack for her by showing you're still waiting. Your job is to make it wider by showing you've become stronger, have a purpose, and are completely unbothered. Understanding this power dynamic is the key to winning. The psychological battlefield. Why her return isn't random. To win this, you have to stop seeing her text as random and start seeing it for what it is, a predictable psychological reaction. Her reaching out is not a sign from the universe. It's a symptom of a massive internal conflict she's going through. A conflict you probably started the moment you stopped chasing her and started focusing on yourself. Think of the breakup as a system reset. When she left, she had 100% of the power, but the moment you went no contact, you changed the entire game. You took away her drug, your attention, your validation, your energy. At first, she probably felt relief. Freedom. But psychology is a crazy thing. Our brains hate a vacuum. What you're seeing now is the result of several powerful psychological principles crashing together. Things like the fading effect bias, where the negative feelings disappear faster than the positive ones. We're also talking about the scarcity principle, where something becomes insanely attractive the moment you can't have it. And of course, there are huge emotional drivers like loneliness and pure ego. Her brain, which filed you under always there, is now freaking out because of your absence. The certainty she felt when she left is being replaced by the uncertainty of your new life without her. This creates cognitive dissonance, a mental war where her belief that she was right to leave is challenged by the fact that you seem to be doing great, maybe even better, without her. That "hey" text is her trying to fix that feeling. It's a probe. She's gathering data. She's trying to confirm you're still miserable and available. Because if you are, it makes her feel good, validates her decision, and proves she still has power over you. This is a psychological battlefield, and the first rule is that you cannot win by playing her game. You have to make her play yours. You do that by understanding the hidden motives behind her text. You need to become a detective and figure out the real reason she's back. Is it for you, or is it a selfish need to feel better? In these next sections, we'll break down the 7 most insane psychological triggers that cause an ex to come back. The 7 hidden psychological reasons she wants you back. Alright, this is the most important part of the video. We're going to break down the 7 core psychological drivers that pull an ex back. Pay close attention, because your situation is probably a mix of these. Figuring out the main one is your key to responding like a boss. Reason has shown, the loneliness echo. The first and most common reason is also the simplest. She is super lonely. When she broke up with you, she wasn't just leaving a person, she was leaving behind her entire comfort zone. The inside jokes, the good morning texts, the person to call after a bad day, the built-in dinner date, the physical intimacy. She probably imagined this amazing new life of freedom. But the reality of being single is usually just quiet. The reality is silent nights and empty weekends. It's seeing other happy couples, which feels like a personal attack. It's having to build a whole new support system from zero. This gets 1,000 times harder during holidays, anniversaries, or even just a boring Sunday. The silence is deafening. The hole you left isn't just an absence, it's an active, echoing presence. It's the loneliness echo. Her brain, desperate for the comfort you gave her, starts sending out panic signals. Reaching out to you is the fastest way to stop that anxiety. What this looks like: you'll get texts at insane hours, like late at night or Sunday evening. The messages will be low effort but designed to get an emotional response, like "hope you're doing well," or "remember that time we." She's not trying to get back together. She's just trying to stop feeling bad right now. Your move: do not become her emotional pacifier. If you rush in to cure her loneliness, you're a temporary fix, not a long-term partner. Your response should be warm but super brief, and it should not be immediate. A delayed, cheerful, short reply like, "Hey, good to hear from you. Hope you're great too," sent hours later, shows you're not her 24/7 therapist. It shows your life is full and you're not waiting by the phone. Reason #2, the green-eyed monster and the scarcity principle. Nothing makes someone want an ex back more than seeing them happy with someone else, or even seeing the possibility of it. This is a crazy mix of jealousy, possessiveness, and the scarcity principle. As long as you were single and sad, you were a safe bet. She didn't want you, but she knew she could have you. You were abundant. But the second she sees a picture of you with another woman, or hears you're dating again, or just sees you thriving, everything flips. Suddenly, you're not an endless resource. You're scarce. And that scarcity flips a switch in her brain that screams, "Wait, that's mine!" This isn't about love. It's about ego and competition. It's the toddler mentality. I don't want that toy, but I really don't want you to have it. Seeing you move on is a direct hit to her ego. It suggests she wasn't as special as she thought. Reaching out is her attempt to wreck your new life and prove she's still number one. What this looks like: her text will often come right after you've posted something that shows you're moving on. Her message might be a direct question disguised as being casual, like, "Oh, who's your new friend?" Or an indirect jab like a random, "I miss you," meant to throw you off balance. Your move: don't take the bait. Don't defend your new life or explain who anyone is. If she asks, a simple, almost boring, "Just a friend, it was a fun night," is perfect. You give her zero emotional ammo. You're showing that your new life is not up for her approval. By refusing to get into drama, you make her even more insecure and show her the ship is sailing and she's not the captain. Reason #3. The memory edit. Rosy retrospection. Time literally edits our memories. After a breakup, our brain does this crazy thing called rosy retrospection. We naturally let the bad memories fade away, while the good memories get polished and put on a big screen. The daily fights, the annoying habits, the actual reasons you broke up, they all get blurry. Meanwhile, the good times, the laughter, the vacations, the falling in love part get a shiny 4K upgrade. She isn't remembering the real relationship. She's remembering the highlight reel. Her brain is creating a romanticized fake version of your past. She's not missing you as you are today. She's missing a ghost from the past and a feeling she connects with that ghost. What this looks like: her messages will be dripping with nostalgia. "I heard our song today," or "Remember that little restaurant we found." She's trying to pull you back into that fantasy bubble because that's where everything felt perfect. Your move: do not get in the time machine with her. It's tempting, but it keeps you both trapped in a fantasy. When she brings up a good memory, gently bring the conversation back to now. A great response is, "Yeah, that was a fun time. So much has changed since then." This acknowledges the memory but reminds her that the past is the past. It breaks the spell and forces her to deal with the person you are today, not who you were back then. Reason #4. The grass isn't greener syndrome. This is all about a huge dose of reality. When she left, she had this fantasy in her head of a better life, a better partner, a more exciting single life. She was 100% sure the grass would be greener on the other side. But now, months later, she's discovered the other side is just more grass, and sometimes it's dead and patchy. Maybe the new guy she was excited about was a total dud. Maybe single life was just lonely. She's experiencing dumper's remorse, but it's born from disappointment. The fantasy she traded you for completely failed, and now your life together looks amazing by comparison. She isn't coming back because she recognizes your value. She might be coming back because her other options were terrible. You might just be the best of a bad situation. What this looks like: this usually happens after you know she dated someone else. The contact can feel sudden and more intense, like, "I've been thinking, and I think I made a mistake." She might seem really regretful, but you have to question where that regret is coming from. Is it about losing you, or about losing the bet she made on her new life? Your move: be extremely careful. A relationship rebuilt on being the better option will collapse. Your job is to make it clear you are not a consolation prize. You need to show her you're not the same guy she left. A powerful thing to say is, "I appreciate you saying that. A lot has changed for me, and I'm focused on moving forward." I'd have to see real, consistent change over a long time to even consider something. This puts all the pressure on her. It forces her to prove she's back for you, not just because her other plans exploded. Reason #5. The closing door and the ego panic. As long as you're available, she feels in control. But the second you genuinely start moving on, the second she feels you slipping away forever, it triggers a primal fear of permanent loss. This is the closing door panic. It isn't about her wanting you. It's about her not wanting to lose the option of having you. Your silence, your focus on your goals, your new happiness. It all signals that the door back to your life, which she thought would always be wide open, is now closing and locking. That can cause absolute panic. It's a huge blow to the ego. The idea that you could be completely over her is something she can't accept. She needs to know she can still get a reaction from you, that she still holds some power. What this looks like: this contact feels urgent and comes after a long time of silence where you've been leveling up. The message might be a dramatic, "I need to talk to you," or a simple, "Are you okay? Haven't heard from you," designed to force a response and prove you're still hooked. Your move: do not match her urgency. Your slow, calm response is the ultimate power move. By taking your time, you are non-verbally communicating that the door has closed and you are the one who controls it now. A calm, "Hey, everything's great on my end, just been crazy busy with new project hobby, hope you're well," is devastatingly effective. It's friendly, but it confirms her biggest fear. You're busy, you're happy, and your world isn't about her anymore. This will either make her try 1,000 times harder, revealing she's serious, or she'll back off, proving it was all about her ego. Reason #6, the absolution tour and the guilt cleanse. Sometimes her return has zero to do with you and everything to do with her. She feels guilty. Guilty for how she ended things, guilty for hurting you. This guilt is a huge weight, and reaching out is her trying to make herself feel better. This is the absolution tour. She's not looking to get back together, she's looking for forgiveness. She needs to hear that you're okay and that you don't hate her, because that lets her move on with a clear conscience. She is literally using you to make herself feel like a good person again. What this looks like, her messages will be super apologetic. "I've been feeling so bad about how things ended," or "I just want to make sure you're okay. I really care about you." Notice the language is all about her feelings, "I've been feeling," and her need for your well-being, which is really about her own peace of mind. Your move. Do not give her the forgiveness she's begging for. You are not her priest. You don't have to be rude, but don't let her off the hook. A neutral, boundary-setting response is the best. Something like, "I appreciate that. I've been focused on my own path and moving forward." This response is polite, but it gives her zero emotional release. It doesn't say, "I forgive you," or "I'm still hurt." It says, "My emotional state is no longer your business." Reason #7, the push-pull of attachment styles. This final reason is the most complex and explains those crazy on-again, off-again relationships. It's all about attachment theory. If your ex has an avoidant attachment style, she feels suffocated by intimacy. As the relationship got more serious, her subconscious fear of being trapped exploded, so she pushed you away. But once she gets the space she wanted, a new anxiety kicks in, the fear of abandonment. The very distance she created now makes her feel insecure, which makes her pull you back in. This creates a painful, endless cycle. Pull you close, feel suffocated, push you away, feel lonely, and repeat. She's most attracted to you when you're far away and least attracted when you're close. Her return isn't a sign she's changed, it's just the pull phase of her toxic pattern. What this looks like, you'll notice this is a repeating pattern. She breaks up with you, you give her space, and she comes back full of love. But as soon as things get good again, she'll start pulling away. Your move. Seeing this pattern is the first step to freedom. You cannot fix her. If you take her back without dealing with this, you're just signing up for the next round of the emotional roller coaster. The only way to win is to break the pattern by setting a huge boundary. You could say, "It's good to hear from you. However, the pattern of breaking up and getting back together isn't something I'll do again. I'm only interested in something stable and consistent." This forces her to face the real problem and makes it clear that getting back into your life requires a genuine effort to break her cycle. The litmus test. How to uncover her true intentions. Okay, so you have the 7 reasons she might be back. But that's only half the battle. Now you need an ultimate test to expose her true intentions without giving up your power. Forget asking, "What do you want?" That's just surrendering. Instead, you're going to use a simple but firm statement that works like a litmus test. This test is designed to make her show you her real cards. After 1 or 2 casual texts, if she's still reaching out and hinting at meeting up, you use the test. It's a statement about your new reality, and it sounds like this. "It's been nice hearing from you. Hey, just so you know, a lot has changed for me lately. I'm really focused on mention a real goal, your business, fitness, a project, and heading in a totally new direction. I'm really only investing my time and energy in people and things that are aligned with that." Let's break down why this is so unbelievably powerful. 1. It sets a new frame. It instantly proves you're not the same person she left. You have a mission that is way more important than her drama. 2. It sets a standard. The phrase, "only investing my time and energy," sets an incredibly high bar. You don't accept breadcrumbs anymore. You only want people who add to your life. 3. It forces her to qualify herself. Instead of you chasing her, She now has to prove that she meets your standards. She has to show you how she fits into your new life. 4. It's a powerful, non-aggressive boundary. You're not accusing her of anything. You're just stating your personal philosophy. A woman who is just lonely, bored, or needs an ego boost will be completely turned off by this. It sounds like work. It signals you won't be an easy source of validation, and she will probably disappear. But a woman with genuine interest, who really regrets leaving and is attracted to your new strength, will be amazed. Her response will be to try and meet that standard. She'll say something like, "That's incredible to hear. I'd love to hear more about it." Or, "That's actually what I'm looking for too." She will lean in, not run away. This test filters out every time waster. It protects your energy and guarantees that if you let her back in, she's entering on your terms, attracted to the new, powerful person you've become. So, there you have it. The confusion is gone. The next time her name lights up your phone, you won't feel that mix of panic and hope. You'll feel total, calm clarity. You'll recognize her text not as fate, but as a predictable psychological echo. You'll be able to diagnose her motive in seconds. Is it the loneliness echo? The green-eyed monster? Is she just on a guilt cleanse? You now see that her return is a reaction to the massive power shift that happened when you chose yourself. Your self-improvement created scarcity. Your silence created a vacuum. Her text is proof of the work you've put in. You're no longer a character in her story. You are the author of yours. Now, understanding this psychology is the critical first step. It gives you the map, but knowing the map and actually navigating the insane terrain of reattraction are two different things. How do you handle the first date? How do you pace it so you don't fall back into old, terrible patterns? How do you rebuild attraction on a solid foundation, not on the sand of regret and nostalgia? Answering those questions requires a detailed game plan, and that's way too much for one video. That's why we put together the ultimate guide called the Reattraction Blueprint. It's an action plan that walks you through the exact conversations and mindsets you need to handle this from a position of absolute strength, from structuring dates to testing for long-term commitment. If you're serious about not just getting her back, but building something 1,000 times stronger, this is your next step. Click the link in the description below to get the Reattraction Blueprint. Remember, knowledge is power, but action is everything. You have the knowledge. The next move is yours.